Okay. So
Neha ma'am, I'm audible?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So good evening to all esteemed members of Team Research Foundation of India, our distinguished subject expert, Dr. Chanchala Jain, ma'am, and all dear participants. I'm Dr. Neha Jain, the program coordinator for the Faculty Development Program on Statistical Analysis with Excel. On behalf of the Research Foundation of India, I warmly welcome you all once again. This educational journey has been made possible through the collaborative efforts of the RFI and RFI-CARE in association with BPIT and with generous sponsorship of JHERF, ARGA, and Edu Academic Inc. As we all know, today marks the concluding day of our FDP, which commences with the topics such as descriptive statistics, chi-square test, t-test, one-way and two-way ANOVA, correlation and regression, and culminates today with the final topic on case-based analysis. So, without further delay, I am honored to invite the exceptional and highly esteemed Dr. Chanchala Jain, Madam, renowned for her precision and expertise in research and statistical analysis, to commence today's session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. A very good evening, everyone present here. I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. So I think I do not.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I think I do not need to mention this thing that ma'am has already told what we have covered in this FDP so far. I think we have covered the descriptive statistics on a day one. Along with that, as explained you the chi-square test, we have seen the two forms of chi-square test. I explained you the goodness of fit test. Then I explained you the chi-square independence of attributes or independence of association test. Next day, I discussed about the t-test. There we have seen two types of t-test, that is the one sample and two samples t-test. Under the two samples category, I have explained you the independent samples t-test and then dependent samples t-test. Further, I talked about the ANOVA, which is nothing the extension of the independent samples t-test, right? So in the category of ANOVA, I explained you the one-way ANOVA and the two-way ANOVA. Further, I talked about the correlation and regression. I think yesterday we discussed these two topics. And then today is the last concluding and summarizing day. And with the help of little situations, small situations, and the caselets, I'll explain you that how, means I'm not explaining you, this will be an interactive session. I'll show you few of the situations. You people need to read the situations, and then any of you can unmute yourself and can tell me that which will be the suitable statistical test in that particular condition. You can tell me how you can formulate the hypothesis in such situation. That will be, I think, great learning from this particular FDP, right? So this will be the pedagogy for the day. So I'm going to share my screen first. Give me a second.
Excuse me, ma'am. In yesterday's session, I think we have remained with MLR.
Sorry?
In yesterday's session, I think we have remained with MLR sheet.
It is very similar like the simple linear regression, ma'am. The same way you need to perform and the same output almost you are getting. Apart from that, means in the coefficient table, we will be having the more B1, B2 values. That is the coefficient of the independent variables.
From the data analysis, we will select only simple regression.
Yes, yes. And then in that case, in the case of the X variable input range, you need to pass all the X variable range there. Got it, Karishma ma'am?
Yeah. X1 and X2 both, we are going to consider it as 1X. That is X and Y is another one. Okay, got it. Okay.
I think yesterday the discussion went very long, so probably we missed it. Yes. Okay, so give me a second. Yeah. I think now my screen will be visible to every one of you.
Yes.
Any confirmations?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Friends, today I'm expecting you people to be interactive because this is your session now. Today I will be only here to show you the things. And if you people are not understanding the situation, in that case I'll interrupt. Otherwise, you people need to speak today, right? So the first situation, I am zooming in this particular Word file. to make you little clear what is written on the word file. Yeah, you can read the first situation. After reading it, we will discuss. So first you need to read it, and then I'll talk about this particular thing. So please read it. Reading done?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I start discussing this?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. So if you have read the given situation, now I'm expecting any one of you to unmute yourself, and if you can identify this is a situation, or in this situation which is the suitable statistical test, that will be a great thing.
May I answer, ma'am?
Yes, any one of you can.
Yeah. Ma'am, I think it will be linear regression, ma'am. Regression technique. Can we apply in
Ma'am,
this case?
ma'am, I
Okay.
think it will be chi-square independence test for association of
Okay.
variables.
Okay, that's great. I think we will take the opinion of other people also. And if I'm not getting any more further opinions, then I'll discuss. Okay, so I think two opinions I got. One from Rashmi ma'am. Second one is from, I think, Anamika ma'am. One of
Yes,
them
ma'am.
is saying it will be a case of regression, and second one is saying it is the case of chi-square test.
When
Right?
it is
Any other
about
opinion?
it is about association, so we should go with correlation, I think.
Okay. Ruchi ma'am is saying it will be a case of correlation. Fine. Anyone else?
No, it may be ANOVA because there are too many variables, na? Like we have done in type 1, type 2.
Okay, fine, Ruchi ma'am. It can be ANOVA case. Okay, fine. Anyone else?
ANOVA with replication.
Sorry,
I think this is ANOVA with replication.
it's ANOVA with replication case. Okay, that's the another opinion. I think so many mixed opinion I
It's
got.
ANOVA. It's
It's
ANOVA.
ANOVA.
Okay,
According to
okay. Fatima ma'am is saying it will be a case of ANOVA. Any other response? I think I need to check. Let me check if I can create a poll or something. Can I create a poll for you people? Will you people answer the poll?
yes.
Give me a
Yes,
second.
ma'am.
Give me a second. That way, I think it will be. Let me check. I think it is asking me to install first. Fine. So meanwhile, the process is happening. I think I'll start discussing the thing. Yeah.
I think, madam, this is we will apply independent sample t-test because these groups they are not directly related. There is continuous and categorical. There are two categories are there.
Okay, fine. Just a minute, Jyoti ma'am, right? I am trying to create a poll for all of you, but I think I don't know. I'm not getting a proper solution for it. Your host can pose the questions here. Okay, I think I'm not the host of the meeting, so I cannot do that. Yogra sir, it is possible for you to make me the co-host or host of the meeting so that I can create polls.
Ma'am, you can create poll in WhatsApp group.
But that is not the better way, ma'am. I need to switch from here to there.
You can create the poll in WhatsApp group. We will
I
make
said it is
you
not
can
correct
see.
because I need to switch from this screen to other screen. I need to go on my WhatsApp on my mobile. So that is not a correct way. No issues. I'm discussing, no problem. So here, if I talk about, I think many answers we got here. Some of you are saying this will be a case of regression. Give me a second. Some of you are saying this will be a case of regression or ANOVA. I think I got the one answer that it will be a case of two-way ANOVA also. Some of you are saying it is a case of chi-square. So I think mixed correlation also, I think I got the answer, right? So I think mixed opinion I got on this particular situation. According to me, it should be a case of chi-square independence of attributes or independence of association. My assumption is that because you need to test and check here, the situation says we want to know if there is a statistical significant association between class level and the movie genre, right? We want to find the association between the two variables, and both the variables, if you can check, these variables are the categorical variables.
Categorical, right.
Right. So the nature of variables is categorical. So it is quite obvious we will not go for any parametric test. That means ANOVA, regression, P. I think we should not go for that particular test category, right? So we are left with only the non-parametric test. And in non-parametric test, I think we discussed about the independence of attributes, where I explained you people that we need to have two categorical variables. And in both the variables, we want to find the association. So that way, if I'm collecting the data, I'm asking that what is your class level, and I'm giving you these choices: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. And I'm asking your favorite genre, movie genre. So that way, I have given you this. And in the combination of these two, I can create a contingency table, and then I can apply that test. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fine. So can anyone will attempt that how we can formulate the hypothesis?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, it can be that class level does not have any significant in on movie genre.
There is no significant impact of class level on favorite movie genre.
Correct. Correct. So I think we can say this.
That will be null hypothesis, ma'am. It will
Sorry?
be a null hypothesis that there's no significant association between class
Between
level
the
and
class
favorite
level
movie
and
genre.
favorite movie genre. Right. Very correct.
It will be,
Yes.
yeah,
Correct,
it will
ma'am.
be null hypothesis, right, ma'am?
It will be a null hypothesis. Very correct. So I think you people got an idea that how now. I think this is a very basic situation I have given to you. So I think now you got an idea that how you need to interpret the situation, and then you need to reach at the conclusion that which will be the suitable statistical test, right? So now I'm moving to the next situation. I hope you can read the next situation.
Madam, can we apply again t-test over here? Because these groups, they are related. It depends on what type of sugar level and the baking of.
Okay, fine.
Uh,
Okay, fine, Jyoti ma'am. I think you said the t-test, right?
yeah.
It's
Dependent sample t-test.
Yeah. Any other?
Dependent sample
Sorry?
t-test. Dependent sample t-test.
Dependent sample t-test. Okay, just I need to switch to C. I think I'm not knowing who is speaking. First, I think I was interacting with Jyoti ma'am. Second is
Karishma.
second Karishma ma'am. Okay, fine. Next, any other opinion? Yes.
Madam, the Pearson chi-square test.
Pearson's chi-square test. Okay.
Because there is two categorical variables as independent variables and
Hmm.
one continuous dependent variable. So we could do the Pearson's chi-square test to check.
Pearson's chi-square. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Any other opinion? Yes, friends. Do I need to show you a screen again? I'm showing you again. Yes. I hope you read the situation. Any opinion apart from two, which already I have heard? Sir is saying it can be a case of chi-square. Karishma ma'am, what you said the t-test, right?
Yes.
Yes. Any other opinion apart from these two?
Ma'am, can we go with ANOVA?
ANOVA, okay. Ma'am, ANOVA is specifically any one way or two way?
Two-way ANOVA.
Two-way ANOVA, okay. Okay. Two-tailed test is helping us to formulate the hypothesis. I think you need to tell me the name of the test. Yes, any other opinion or shall I discuss? Correlation with multiple regressions, Vishala, ma'am. Okay, fine.
Ma'am, I think t-test can be applied.
T-test. Anamika ma'am is saying t-test. Fine. Any other opinion or shall I start discussing my opinion? Fine. Okay. So I think this is the situation where you can read it carefully. The situation says a baker is interested in finding whether the oven temperature, which you are measuring in terms of high or low, and the different type of sugar, which can be the white sugar or the brown sugar, will affect the weight of cookies. So now, can anyone help me out? Help me to find out how many variables here available in this situation?
Two
independent, one
independent and one dependent.
Two independent and one dependent. Very correct. Fine. So here you can see it is giving us the temperature. Oven temperature is given us in the form of high and low. That can be a categorical variable. Second variable is the type of sugar, which is in terms of white sugar or brown sugar, right? So again, it is a kind of categorical variable. Now you need to see the effect on the weight of cookies. So weight of cookies is which kind of variable? It's a continuous scale variable, right?
Continuous.
So it will be your dependent variable. So I think in this situation, we cannot go for regression. I think we studied only the simple linear regression, or at max I can say multiple linear regression. I have explained you the concept, right? So in that I explained you the dependent variable should be which type? Continuous type. So the dependent variable is of continuous type only here. But your independent variables are categorical in nature here. So that way you will not go for the multiple regression. If you want to see the effect of these two, you can go for the two-way ANOVA. You can create the 2 by 2, you can create a two-way table. In one, you will write, let me show you just a minute. So suppose here I am writing temperature, which is high and low. Then coming here, sugar type is white and brown.
Yeah.
And then in the combination of these two, we can write the weight. Fine. Data type or data arrangement is clear to everyone. This way means we can collect the data like this way, and then we can bifurcate the data that for the high temperature of the oven and for the white sugar, if you are using white sugar in making of the this particular thing, that is the cookies, right? So in that case, in what is the weight you are observing? Similarly, the white sugar and the low temperature of the oven is coming or giving the what is the weight of through which what is the weight we are getting, right? So that way, I think this way you can create your data table, and that way you can go for the two-way ANOVA. This is my opinion. And how many hypotheses we will create here if I will go for this? Yes.
I think four hypotheses.
Four hypotheses. Sir, why four?
The combination, na?
Four
White and high.
hypotheses, one for your temperature, one is for your sugar, and one is for combined.
Yeah, I think three is good. Yeah, three is
Three hypotheses we will create. Two hypotheses for the main effect and one hypothesis for the combine or the interaction effect, right? Fine, very correct. Going to the next situation. I hope the next situation is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
One-tailed t-test.
It's one-tailed t-test, okay?
Yes, ma'am. It's a t-test, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, t-test.
Okay, which t-test?
It, single
One sample,
tail.
two
one
sample?
sample.
It's one.
More than right tail. It will be right tail.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a t-test, ma'am. Direction is, it's already given 40 hours. So
Ma'am,
it's
specifically you need to tell one tail, one sample or two sample?
One sample.
it is
One
one
sample
sample.
One sample t-test. Okay, I think everyone has guessed it correctly. It is clearly, I think you can understand the situation. We are having, from the past experience, companies having the experience that companies' batteries are having the life of 40 hours, more than 40 hours. So company claim can be tested by taking the 15 batteries. So we can get the mean of those sample batteries and we can compare that from this 40 hours. So that it is the case of one sample t-test. Right. Very true. Very true. Thank you. Good.
So whenever there is a sample given, we have to go with the t-test,
No,
one or two
necessary.
samples, or how? madam?
Not necessary, sir. Situation and number of variables are available. What you want to check, that is, I think you need to understand from the last 4 days we were discussing this. Depending upon the variety or the type of variable we are having, what is the purpose we are having? According to that, we will select that. We will not go that we are having samples, so we will go for the features. It is not like that.
Okay, okay, madam.
Yeah. So I think I'm taking this on a one. I hope fourth situation is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Correlation.
Okay. Okay.
Regression, ma'am.
Regression, fine.
Correlation.
Correlation, okay. Any other opinion?
Since there is two independent variables and one height of the plant, which is a continuous dependent variable. So can we need to find the correlation between the different, means the sunlight. So we come up with the R, which is the correlation coefficient, and check if it is greater than 0.75 or those kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correlation, yeah.
Okay. Any other opinion, friends?
Good evening. I
Good
guess it
evening.
is correlation with two independent factor and one dependent variable. The plant growth being the dependent variable.
So what you are saying, it's correlation case, ma'am?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, according to me, it is not. I think I want other opinions also. Among many of you are saying it can be a case of correlation and regression. Any other opinion on this?
Because we don't have any kind of idea about hours of sunlight and frequency of
That
watering.
is what I am telling you.
Ma'am, I think ANOVA can be applied here.
According to me, also ANOVA should be the best option here. But I think if people can go for that also, if you want to apply the regression. But here the important thing we need to understand is which kind of variable we are having. So you need to understand sunlight exposure if I'm talking about. So whether I am measuring sunlight exposure in what term? I am saying the high sunlight exposure in that I'm keeping my plants, or maybe the sunlight exposure is less or maybe low in where I'm keeping my plants. So according to me, it can be a categorical variable. Similarly, watering frequency means daily I am watering, weekly I am watering, or thrice in a week I am watering, something like that. So that way, this can again be a kind of categorical variable. So if you are measuring in that term, in that case, you can go for ANOVA. But if you are having any measurement available for measuring the sunlight exposure, if you are measuring it in terms of continuous variable, in that case, you can take it as a continuous variable. Similarly, watering frequency, because it is clearly mentioned frequency. How many times I am watering my plant, right? In a day, in a day, 2 times I am watering the plant, something like that. So that way, according to me, it should be a case of the categorical variable. Again, I'm saying this thing. If I am suppose I'm saying daily watering or twice in a week, or maybe in a 15 days, something like that. So that will be a case of the categorical variable. But again, if you are measuring these variables in terms of continuous variable, in that case, you can go for the regression only. Clear?
But here,
But ma'am, in any way, it will not be the case of correlation, right, ma'am? It will be
No,
regression only.
correlation is not appropriate here. If you will go
Right.
for regression, I think automatically you will get the results of R.
Since we are having a independent and one dependent variable over here, if we are applying regression in that case, ma'am, right?
We want to see the effect, ma'am. Not that is the case. We want to see these two things are impacting the plant growth or not. So clearly, we want to see the effect.
Okay. So since we have to see the effects, so we have to use the regression.
We can go for regression, but again, provided you need to check on what scale you are measuring your variables. Plant growth, it is quite clear. I'm measuring how much is the height today. After a week, what will be the impact on the height of my plant? Something like that. So that way, height is a kind of continuous scale variable. So you need to see on what scale you are measuring such variables. Accordingly, we can decide upon the test, right?
but ma'am, here in this case study, it is not mentioned now whether the sunlight is high, whether the sunlight is.
That is what I'm telling you, ma'am. What I'm telling you the same, na? That you can go for both the things according to your measurements. What you are taking, you can go for regression also. You can go for 2-can-over also. This is what I'm telling.
Okay.
Madam, can you
Since
show
no
us the
such measurements are given, ma'am, so we are going for like
Sorry?
ANOVA, right? Since
Sorry,
no
sorry.
such measurements are given, we are going for ANOVA in this case, right, ma'am?
Means you can
As
means
you
again hold here, ma'am. Again, thing is you need to decide upon that on what way you are measuring your variables. If you are measuring your variables, as I said, sunlight, high sunlight or low sunlight, I'm keeping in my plant. I'm keeping there. Watering, I'm giving daily something. So that way you need to decide upon how you are measuring your variables. If you are deciding clearly, this will be the scale of my variables or measurement of my variables. In that case, you can select the appropriate test, because you need to see here if effect you can check using the ANOVA also, using the regression also, right? Differences of the type of variable.
So you're saying if both of those variables are categorical and the dependent is continuous, then we should go with ANOVA.
I think we
Otherwise,
discussed this thing yesterday
yeah.
also, sir, and I think in the previous situation also I discussed the same thing.
Okay, ma'am. Can you just show us the third one, madam? I didn't take a screenshot of that. Thank you, madam.
We'll go for the next now. Next is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we can apply two sample t-test.
Okay.
Madam,
Fine.
see, we don't know what kind of medication. Is it the same medication, or exercises also? What are the different types? Diet also, we are not very sure if it's the same special diet or different diet. So there is too many variations possible, isn't it?
I don't know, sir. I think this is your opinion. You need to discuss. My opinion, I'll discuss later on.
Is it regression, madam?
Okay. Means you need to tell me your opinions, friends, and
Yeah,
then
I
I'll
think
share
it
my
is
opinion.
Regression.
it
Okay,
is,
fine.
ma'am, I think I-square after and before, like, well,
Okay,
after and before, so
fine.
result, after and before results,
So
chi-square.
which test we are applying here, ma'am?
Ma'am, row and column wala tha na, I have forgotten the name. In which R into C and total wala. I have forgotten that instantly.
I'm not getting which one you are talking about.
In which expected and outcomes in expected maybe
Chi-square?
yes, I think chi-square
Okay.
after and before results.
Okay, fine.
According to me, it's again regression.
Okay, good. Fine.
मैम मुझे तो एनोवा ही लग रहा है ये डेटा देख के जो समझ आ रहा
Ma'am,
है
it will be ANOVA, ma'am. I also think that it will
It's
be
ANOVA
ANOVA.
one way or two way?
It's
मैम
Ma'am, it's
मैम वन
one
वन
way
वे
ANOVA.
एनोवा
Okay. May I know the name who are saying one way ANOVA?
Ma'am,
अनामिका
I hope I'm not wrong.
Ma'am, I think there is nothing right and wrong here. Even I am putting my opinion in front of all of you. You need to, whether you are convinced, you will accept. Otherwise, whatever your opinion, you will go with it. So it is just a discussion forum here. We all are discussing the things. No one is right and wrong here. We all are correct. So I think Rashmi ma'am and Anamika ma'am said it is a one-way ANOVA case, and I think according to me also this will be a case of one-way ANOVA, right? Why so? According to my opinion, I'm telling you, please read it. 3 different techniques, namely medication, exercises, and the special diet are randomly assigned to the individuals diagnosed with the high blood pressure. That means suppose I am a certain people available and they are diagnosed as they are having the high blood sugar level, right? Or high blood pressure level, right? So in that case, being a maybe physician, I have allocated few of the people, or I have given few of the people to the particular medication. I prescribed them a medication, right? Few people I ask them to go for the exercises. Few people I ask them to take some special diet. Maybe the diet plan will be available, and I'll ask them to take this diet plan, right? After a particular time period, that is the 4 weeks mentioned here, I will record their blood pressures. Fine? Clear?
Yes.
So in that case, I can say this thing. Suppose 3 techniques. I'll take a table here that will be easier for me to tell you. So suppose I have a technique medication. I have a technique as exercise. I have a technique as the special diet, right? So if suppose I want to see the improvement, right? So either I can go for one way ANOVA, I can record the blood pressure or the blood pressure levels here after 4 weeks of all the patients which were allocated for the medication or exercises or special diet, right? So that way I can compare using the one way ANOVA which method is the best, which method is more effective. I'll get the, I think we all know that in one way ANOVA we are formulating the hypothesis like there is no significant difference. Here I can say in the mean blood pressure level on the basis of three techniques, right? But if suppose my null hypothesis is rejected, so I'll conclude that there is a significant difference in the blood pressure level, mean blood pressure level, according to the three techniques or three different techniques, right? Now, further, using the t-test, I can compare these two tests, that is two categories, medication and exercises, or exercise and special diet, or special diet and medication. And then I can get the mean figures. And in that case, you can compare that in which case you are finding this thing, that which two approach are saying that there is a significant difference is existing, and for which particular pair the mean value is coming higher. So in that case, higher mean is indicating, because if higher value of blood pressure will come, it will tell you that your method or the technique is not effective one. So you should get a lower mean value there. In that case, you can conclude this thing that this particular technique is better, which is giving us the reduced blood pressure level, mean blood pressure level. According to me, this can be the case.
Madam, there are 7 combinations, right? One medication, one separately, exercise separately, special diet separately. Then 2 of them together, medication, exercise together, exercise, special diet together, medication, special diet together. Then all 3 together. So we have 7 cases, isn't it?
Sir, usually in Excel, I think I told, yes, day before yesterday, I think we have discussed about the ANOVA, right? There I told you Excel is a limitation. We are not getting the results of multiple comparisons. But if you will go for this R, Python or Stata or maybe SPSS, there you will get the automatically the results of the multiple comparisons also. So there you need not to apply this. You need to only firstly check whether your ANOVA is stating this thing that significant difference is existing or not. If ANOVA is saying this thing that significant difference is existing, in that case you will go for the multiple comparison, and then you will find in which pair that difference is coming, which is a significant difference, right? And then looking at the mean value, you can say this thing that for which particular technique the blood pressure level has reduced.
Right. Okay, madam.
Yeah.
Ma'am, there is no need to take the initial values. We are just taking one value, that is the 4th week, and then we are doing this. So we need not have to compare.
That will be a repeated ANOVA case, ma'am.
Yes. So if you are doing the pre and post, then it is okay. Then it is a repeat.
ANOVA.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Fine. So shall I proceed for the next?
Yes, ma'am.
Just should be a math. Because to learn statistics, we need to have a base of maths, right? So that is why professor want to understand this thing, that the students, those who want to study statistics, they are having some basic level of mathematical understanding or not.
Correlation, madam?
Okay. Any other opinion? T-test. Okay.
Yes.
Which one? T-test?
Yes.
Okay. Which t-test? I think if people will write their
Nibandha.
sorry,
one
one
sample
sample
test.
Yes, I think my opinion is also same. It can be a case of, it should be a case of one sample t-test, because the teacher or the professor want that their student should score more than 70 in a basic or the math proficiency test. So this is the expectation of the professor. So that way we can take the 70 as a population mean, and then you can calculate the sample mean by the scores of the students in the math proficiency test, and that way you can compare them using the one sample test. Clear to everyone?
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm proceeding with the next.
I think according to me, it's chi-square test.
Okay. Okay, other opinion? Anyone else?
Chi-square,
Chi-square?
observed and expected.
Okay. Chi-square test. Okay, fine. Any other opinion, friends? Yes. Yes. No answers? Shall I discuss?
Yes.
Okay. So according to me, it should be a case of
Ma'am,
one way. Yes.
Ma'am, can it be one way ANOVA?
Yeah, as per my understanding, also should be a case of one way ANOVA, as we want to compare the number of errors committed by the students of three different classes, right? So class 1, class 2, class 3, or section A, section B, section C, something like that you can take. So we will be having a categorical variable, and then we will be having the errors committed by them. And we want to see the mean number of errors. So mean, generally it's a case of parametric test. Mean generally we are getting for a numeric variable, not for the categorical variable, right? So this will be a case of one way ANOVA, according to my understanding.
But now in one way ANOVA, you have said that in one way ANOVA, you will not be able to find out in which pair there is a difference. And they are also asking about the difference, whether the errors was same across the students or not. So in one way ANOVA, we will not be able to find out the difference.
Ma'am, it is not like every time we will talk about Excel. Any other software we can use now.
Okay.
We not need to restrict that we are having Excel, so Excel will not find. Other software can find that.
This is the Excel limitation, not the
Obviously.
test limitation.
No, you're not getting. ANOVA limitation is that it will only tell you the significant difference is existing or not. If you are accepting your alternate hypothesis, what you will conclude that the mean number of errors are not same across all the class groups, right? This is what you will conclude. But whether the section A has committed more number of errors or B or C, that you cannot understand using the ANOVA. Whether you will go in any software, that will not you will find that. But in other softwares, automatically when we are applying the ANOVA, and apart from that we need to select few more things, you will get the post hoc result. But here in case of Excel, you will get only ANOVA. If pairwise comparison you need to do, you need to go for the t-test. Okay. What I said. Clear to everyone?
Yes.
Fine. Next.
Correlation.
Okay.
T-test.
Sorry?
T-test.
T-test. Which t-test, sir?
On-till T-test.
Paired T-test.
Paired sample t-test. Okay.
Independent one. Independent t-test.
Paired sample t-test.
Independent.
Independent sample t-test. Okay. Any other opinion? No?
If scores are given, then we can apply correlation. But
Ma'am, this is situation only. If you will say me, I'll give you the scores also. There is no problem. This is a situation you need to understand. In this situation, if you are having the scores of the two different universities, which test you will apply. So you need to presume like this. Being a statistician, being a researcher, which test you will apply in that condition?
if we will get the marks, then we will have correlation.
Okay, fine. I'm giving you marks, ma'am. Wait. I'm giving you marks. Please wait. Suppose University A, University B, right? Scores I am writing here. Suppose likewise. Fine. Now,
So both the universities are considered as one sample because university is one variable.
okay.
Two different universities and two different means, ma'am.
Yes.
So obviously we are comparing the means.
Yes. So this is a case of independent
sample t-test.
Yes. So Karishma ma'am, you are right. We are having the different universities. Means we are considering we are having two universities because you need to compare, right?
Yes.
Two universities, University A and University B. So how you will conclude which university students are scoring good marks? By an independent sample t-test, you can find firstly whether the significant difference is existing or not. If it is existing, then you can see the mean figures and you can tell this thing that this particular university students are scoring better marks.
Yes.
Right? Now it is okay. May I proceed with the next?
Yes.
Yes. Reading done. Any opinion on this? Yes.
According to me, it's a NOVA test, two-way ANOVA.
It's a two-way ANOVA. Okay. Any other opinion?
This seems to be similar to the two university
Two-way
thing.
ANOVA. Okay.
Correlation.
Two university thing. It seems to be similar to that. We're comparing
Sorry?
we are comparing the performance of the two universities, right? So this seems to be a similar case, right? The
This one?
8th and 9th. Yeah.
That you need to tell me, sir, what you are understanding from the situation. According to your understanding, how many variables are available, which test you will apply, that you need to tell me. Then I'll share my opinion.
Is it two-way ANOVA, madam?
According to me, it should be a two-way ANOVA. Clearly, you can see it is asking you to test the significant difference among the methods and among the salesmen. Means which salesman is performing better, or which sales method is more effective in increasing the sales, right? So I think this can be a case of two-way ANOVA. So two categorical variables we are having: the types of methods and the I can say the four salesmen. And then you can take there, in the combination of that, we will be having their sales value, right? Method one, salesman A, salesman B, salesman C, salesman D. So if the salesman from this method, so what are their scores? Something like that, right?
Ma'am, can't it be like one-way ANOVA? Because it is comparing, like you can see means of three or more independent groups.
Ma'am, you need to understand, it is asking you to get the two things. First thing, it is telling you need to find the significant difference in the method and in the among the salesmen. So it is quite obvious we will not find the significant difference in the methods and salesmen. We will find the significant difference in the sales according to method and in the sales according to salesmen. Right? So simultaneously, if you want to, otherwise, if you want to go one by one, method and salesman, in that case, you will go for the one-way ANOVA. But simultaneously, if you are going, the salesman is from this method and the sales results are this. So that way, that is the case of two-way ANOVA.
Okay.
And then the best method is not selected in this particular thing, right? Which one will be, whether A is the best method or B is the best method or C is the best method? That is not analyzed
That
here.
you need to tell whether this particular thing is asking you. You need to identify the significant difference.
Just the difference. Yes. So we are not making sure like which method is more effective.
That you can maybe interpret using the mean figures or mean values, or maybe again, if I say you will go in the some other software, there you can easily compare those things.
Okay.
Yes. So shall I proceed with the last case?
Yes.
I think it should be this.
Is it chi-square goodness of it?
Okay. Any other opinion?
Correlation.
Sorry?
Yeah, is it regression?
The regression, okay.
Two-way ANOVA, ma'am.
Two-way ANOVA, fine.
Correlation.
Ma'am, it will be chi-square, I think.
Chi-square, okay.
Ideally, first we will check normality, and according to that, we will select parametric or non-parametric test.
Okay.
Correlation can be.
Just a minute. Suppose there are 5 inspectors, right? It was written 5, no?
Yes, ma'am.
3 restaurants and 5 inspectors. Yeah.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. So suppose we are having, we should have one more column. Give me a minute. I'm entering one more. So suppose we are having restaurant 1, restaurant 2, restaurant 3, inspector 1, inspector 2, inspector 3, inspector 4, and inspector 5. All of them are giving scores to the restaurant on the basis of the cleanliness parameter, right? It is clear, I think, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will be having the cleanliness score. Maybe they are giving the cleanliness score out of 10 or maybe 20. So suppose one restaurant is 7, 6, suppose 4, something like that. So these will be the scores. Now you can read, it is asking you, is there any significant difference in the cleanliness across the restaurant? So which test you will apply here? Yes.
ANOVA.
ANOVA. Which ANOVA?
Two-way.
It's one way. Because you need to only check in context to the restaurants. You are not identifying this thing that whether the approaches of all the 5 inspectors are same or not. We are only looking for the cleanliness score of the restaurants, whether there is significant difference in the cleanliness or not. So we will go for that also only, right? If you are considering this also, in that case you can go for two-way ANOVA, but you will result the report of on the basis of the cleanliness of the restaurants only. Clear?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yes.
if we will have to go for the opinions of the inspector correlation, and then it may be correlation.
No, why correlation, ma'am? You can see we are the situation is asking you, is there any significant difference in the cleanliness across the restaurants? So you need to check whether the mean cleanliness scores are same or not.
No, I am asking if the question will be, is there is any significant difference in the opinion of the inspectors? Then
I think you can go for correlation also. You can go for, because I think yesterday only I discussed this thing.
No, I was just asking if
you can go for in that case, ma'am. But if you are considering both the variables here, type of restaurant and the various inspectors, in that case you should go for the two-way.
Two-way, obviously. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope it is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So now
Very difficult to guess, but yeah, I mean, we're just we have to study it more, madam. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So I think now platform is open. If you are having any questions, you please ask, or else we'll go for what I can say, winding of the this FDP. Any questions you are having?
Ma'am, can we get your mail ID? So for in further any question,
Sir, I provide my mail ID, no problem in that. But problem is whether I'll reply or not. That is not sure, because thing is I'm so much busy in things, so I can't say I'll reply or not. But still, I'm providing you that if you want.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, please text
can I
it
get
over the WhatsApp group, ma'am, if possible.
ma'am? Can I get your mail ID?
I have sent there in a WhatsApp group, sir. Sorry, there in a chat. You can find it. I hope you found.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I get your mail ID?
I said, sir, it is available in the chat box. You please check the chat box.
Yes.
thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was indeed a wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So can I ask you people to switch on your cameras if it is possible for you people, so that I can capture? This is the last day of the FDP. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, it was really a wonderful session, madam. I think we need to have more such kind of interaction, so it will be more clear to us, because I do not have much statistical background, and then too it was quite good experience. I could understand at least some of it, so it was really a nice experience.
Thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am.
And you have really a very good hold on the subject. So it
that I
is,
don't know, but I think
this is what my interpretation through this FDP. It was really wonderful, nice one.
Thank you so much, Jyoti ma'am. And I think I must say thanks to you too for continuously interacting throughout the sessions, because in the online sessions it was very difficult
it
to deliver
difficult,
when the
right.
people are not giving you the response. So thank you so much for making the sessions interactive. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. So in future, if I get a chance to attend your session, definitely I will be there.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. It was very helpful. But I think I kind of figured out I need to do a lot more statistical, work in terms
it's
of.
the Francis, sir?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yeah. So a lot more work has to be done. I kind of went into a different field, coming back into, this field, ML and all that. So
Francis, sir, I must compliment you also for one thing. I think continuously I need to say this thing. The type of questions you were asking throughout all the 5 days, I think it has made me to think also. So I think it is very good. Thank you once again for asking the questions, because I think this way, I think even I can maybe refine myself. So thank you.
Sure, madam. Yeah, we are learners all through.
Yes, sir. Even I am a learner, sir, and this is the platform where we all can learn together.
Yes.
Teaching and learning going to
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. I believe, ma'am, statistics is a subject which needs continuous brushing up.
Seriously.
And and session like these, like your session, it was really wonderful attending your session, ma'am. It would be like I would personally want to attend it in person if it happens someday somewhere. So definitely, I would wish to attend it in person as well.
Thank you so much, Rashmi ma'am. I think Rashmi ma'am also thanks to you too, because I think you have also made all the sessions interactive by asking the questions, by giving the answers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
It was very wonderful session. I also have a little bit knowledge about statistics, but through this session, I would be able to clarify all my doubts regarding the variables and statistical terms, because I'm not so much aware about it, because I am from a BTech background, and by in a engineering background and coming into this background, it is very difficult for me. But I have gained a lot of knowledge, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you, Garishma ma'am, for you too, for keeping the patience and listening to me for the 5 days and making the sessions interactive. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So I think we are done for the day, right? Hope to meet you all maybe in future also if we'll get a chance. So thank you. Tarun sir, I need to give you one answer. Yesterday you asked a question regarding
Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
right? So for the regression, I think you asked a question. I tried to identify the things because today I have my paper, so I haven't got much time, but still I try to figure out your answer. So I think Francis sir also helped us yesterday. But what I have found through my searching is that if you want to identify which regression you need to apply for on the data, right? So if you are checking, firstly, I think yesterday we have seen the two plots where we have seen one plot was the residual plots, right? And I said this thing, if residuals are scattered here and there, that is a good thing. But if they're forming any shape, right? Maybe the shape can be of a cone or pen. It can be any kind of a shape. In that case, it is generally suggestive to go for the higher level of the regression, right? So according to looking, sir, you are mute.
Higher level means multiple regression or
Multiple
something
regression
else.
or maybe quadratic. You need to decide upon further on the basis of the data you are having, because for each and every regression, types of variable requirement is different. So according to further, you need to check what type of data you are having, and then you can decide and check the assumptions of that particular regression, and then you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, I am doing my PhD from Punjabi University, Patiala, and now this time for data analysis and other things. And also, I am assistant professor teaching physiotherapy students.
So that's great.
For that's also I required more knowledge of research. So that's why I ask your mail ID for in sometime, because I'm for data analysis we have a statistician, but sometimes we have some confusion also. This test is good, this is not good. That's why
Right.
we need some more clarification. So in future, if I mail you, please reply.
So I'll try my best
I will
because
not.
I'll try my best, Tarun sir. I am having four scholars. They have sent me their thesis also, but I'm not getting time to check them. So I'll try my best. If I'll get see your mail, and if I get time to see and respond to you, definitely I'll do.
Okay, I understood your situation, because I am also checking thesis and other of my students.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and nice explanation and
Thank
too
you.
much patience. Very nice, and you are a very nice teacher also.
Thank
Explain
you so much, sir.
everything in simple manner, everything.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much, sir.
salute, ma'am.
Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am. I just have a small request. Like, we have done this statistical analysis in MS Excel. I would like to pursue my PhD, because I am also preparing myself for the PhD. And I know in PhD, a popular software SPSS is being used for data interpretation analysis. So
Yes.
I have a small request that you can come up with that session also sometime, somewhere.
I
It's
think I have already conducted so many workshops on SPSS through the RFI. Now Ajay sir will tell you people need to be remain there in a group, right?
Okay.
So
Also
probably
register
if in
for the same,
future
ma'am.
sir is planning, so we will circulate the message there, and
Okay.
then we will hope to meet again for the SPSS also.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yesterday I registered for the same SPSS workshop, your SPSS.
Okay.
Yesterday I registered.
That's great.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Bye bye. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Karishma ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Happy learning to all. Over to Neha ma'am. I think Neha ma'am is waiting for us. We were interacting since long.
Yes, ma'am.
Neha ma'am,
Yes,
over
ma'am.
to you.
So, as we conclude this incredibly enriching and insightful session. I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to every participant for their active engagement throughout the session. A special acknowledgement goes out to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Chanchala Jain Madam. Her unwavering dedication to her sessions and her patient approach to addressing every participant's queries, even beyond the allocated time, is truly commendable. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your invaluable time, knowledge, and insight with us. Additionally, I extend my sincere gratitude to the organizing committee and its sponsors. Your support has been instrumental in the success of these programs, and your contributions are immensely valued. Participants, you will receive your certificates on your email ID in the coming days. And I look forward to seeing you all again in future intellectual and learning sessions. Until then, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am, for you too, for being a patient, what I can say, the host of the 5 days FDP. Thank you so much to you, RFI team, Ajay sir, Saurabh sir, and the entire RFI family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am.
everyone. Happy